Blessings, good evening to you all. I'll begin with some meditation. So please find a comfortable posture. So as usual, talk about anapanasati, mindfulness of breathing. We always begin becoming aware of our posture, how you're sitting right here, right now. Whether you're on a chair or on the floor, bring your attention inwards to your own body. And you may send your awareness up and down your body to become aware of how you're sitting, releasing any tension or adjusting to improve things. Then take some deep breaths to bring full awareness to the feeling of the in-breath, the out-breath. And some people will meditate just focusing on the feeling of the in and out breath at one place, one location, such as the tip of the nostrils. But often people find it helpful also in the beginning to recite something together with the breathing. So in Thailand, a very common method we use is reciting Buddha. As you breathe in, Bud, you breathe out, To. Bud, To. But you can adjust this and use another phrase or word. In Pali, you can choose a word that means something to you. So some people use the phrase such as Buddhang Saranang Gacchami or Dhammang Saranang Gacchami, Sanghang Saranang Gacchami. They're still focusing on the in and out breath, but the recitation just increases the requirement to pay attention. And when you forget your recitation, you lose your mindfulness. You know you're no longer fully mindful, fully aware of what you're doing. Or it could be another word or phrase. Some people like to bring up the idea of metta, so they might use a phrase, Sabbe Sattha Sukhita Hontu, for example. Or you can also recite something in your own language, so in English or any other language. It could be something like, may I be well, may others be well. Some people use a word that is meaningful to them, like peace. Or just recite the word peace with the in-breath, peace with the out-breath. So there's room for experimentation here. You try, see what works for you, what holds your attention, what you find inspiring. If you keep meditating for a while and your mindfulness is becoming more steady, your attention is with the breathing, the in-breath, the out-breath, and with the recitation of your word or your phrase, then you may find you reach a point where you don't need to recite anything anymore. You can drop it. The word becomes almost like additional, kind of an extra heavy weight that you're now able to drop, and you can still stay with the breathing. Your mindfulness has become more refined. That might take regular practice and sitting for longer periods of time. Tonight we're just sitting for 10, 15 minutes. But it's something to bear in mind, something that can help you, just reciting a word, a meaningful word or phrase with your breathing meditation. And the aim of this meditation, and indeed all meditations really, is to maintain sati, mindfulness, sampajanya, complete, clear comprehension, or all-round awareness, to know what you're doing, why, where you are, what you're doing, as opposed to drifting off into sleepiness or daydreaming or being stuck in a particularly strong train of thought or emotion that's come up. Your aim is to let go of all this. It doesn't necessarily mean you can't have anything coming up into your awareness as you concentrate your mind on the breath. You will obviously have many thoughts, doubts, worries, memories, desires and expectations, irritations, a whole range of different stuff coming up. A lot of it is just seems to be random too, just random thoughts popping up in your mind. But one thing you'll notice is how temporary everything is, because you use the breath as your anchor. Keep returning to the in-breath and the out-breath, that feeling, that sensation. Everything else is temporary. Even though some thoughts and some ideas kind of cry out for your attention. You've got maybe something you're going to do later today or tomorrow, and it seems so important that you have to think about it. If you don't think about it, it's no good, it's the end of the world. But just remind yourself it's not the end of the world, and it's not that important, or if it is that important, well, when you finish the meditation, you'll be able to think about that issue or that problem or that plan. Anyway, you can put it off for a later day. You'll notice nearly always when you finish the meditation, those thoughts that were really trying to compete for your attention during the meditation, they just disappear. They're no longer there. So we trick ourselves a lot during meditation when we try to convince ourselves to stop thinking about the breath or being aware of the breath and start thinking about other stuff. But we don't need to do that. So you can give yourself the instruction that it's okay to let go of the mental chatter, the ideas, the images, the thought patterns coming up. Letting go doesn't mean to say you have to fight them off or do anything special. Just note them, be aware, but then let go. Don't feed them or give them any extra energy or extra importance. Just keep returning to the breath and don't make anything much out of all the different thoughts and feelings that you're experiencing. Because that's their nature, they're impermanent. They arise and they pass away. But if you give more importance to your breathing and the feeling of the breath or the word, the phrase that you're reciting, then all the more you'll see the temporary nature of other thoughts and feelings that come up. They'll keep coming into your mind and you let them go. So you get a certain strength of mind from this, which also gives you confidence and also gives you a new understanding of your own mental activity. You may not be able to stop thinking, but at least you know that your thoughts that you're experiencing come and go. You don't have to give them so much importance or attention because you're now turning to the breathing. And you may also observe the space between the thoughts, the feelings, the sounds, whatever is holding your attention or distracting you. You'll notice the impermanence of that thought or sound or feeling. But then you'll also notice how when it passes, there's gaps, there's spaces maybe before you pick up another train of thought, another issue. And you give equal importance when you're mindful to everything coming into your experience. So whether you're thinking or you're not thinking, whether you're feeling pleasure or pain, you're hearing sounds or not, everything has kind of equal importance because they just become objects of mindfulness. Come up and go away again. And your mindfulness is becoming stronger then. This quality of knowing, being aware, becomes stronger. And you notice the gaps between thoughts, you notice thoughts and feelings ending. The temporary nature of experience becomes very clear. And that's the one constant thing. Everything is temporary. Everything changes. Nothing remains the same. And from that you're learning something. Because if things don't remain the same, you don't have to necessarily hold on to them or give them so much time and energy because they're temporary. You can allow them to pass away. They can't bring you permanent peace or happiness. Any thought, still it arises and it ceases. It's more like a tool or something you use temporarily and then you put down again. You don't keep it with you all the time. When you see the impermanent nature of your thoughts, you can also maybe just hold a thought, even a good thought, a very bad thought, ugly thought, stupid thought. You can hold it, but without reacting, you just get to know it better for what it is. And if it is something to be abandoned quickly because it's leading to some stress or accompanied by some painful feeling, if you have a thought of anger or stress, worry, you can hold it in your mind because you're mindful. You see it, you know it. You may review it or assess it, whether it's worth keeping, worth developing or not, and then you let go. Let go with full awareness, full understanding of what you're letting go of. So little by little you can learn and educate yourself even about your own thoughts and feelings and emotions that you're noticing coming up during the meditation. But you always need to return to the breath to make your mindfulness of the breathing strong and continuous. So for the last part of the meditation, just relax, keep coming back to the breath, observing things coming, rising, passing away, until you hear the sound of the bell.